My name is Duddy, it's Adult Builds and stuff. Today I've got a solo hunter build, all based around ability spam. We are going to spam our Tripmines, Gunpowder Gamble, knives up consistently, especially the Tripmines, young Ahamkaras spine. We're going to be focusing this build around that. These things got a nerf, but I believe they're actually back to where they was before, but in a different way. Desperate measures, we're also going to be featuring that perk, how we can have 100% uptime. So, the young Ahamkaras spine increases Tripmine grenade duration and blast radius. Gain Tripmine energy from ability final blows. Now, what I really like about these young Ahamkaras spine, it really enhances the Tripmine. Make them stay in the area for a longer period, so you can just stick them on walls. You can also stick them to enemies, and probably the strongest grenade on the hunter for solo hunters, in my opinion. This exotic, we'll go more into it, but it actually pairs really nicely with the brand new introduction returning hand cannon Luna's Howl. We've got loads and loads of good perks on this weapon. The one it pairs particularly well with is Desperate Measures. Weapon final blows grant bonus damage. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus that can stack. We'll go more into this as we go. It also, on this particular role, I've got Subsistence, where defeating targets partially reloads the magazine. And I've also got Discord on there, so we can switch in between the two. Both pretty good perks. And it's got the origin trait Indomitability. Final blows grant grid energy when playing on a light subclass, or melee energy when playing on a dark subclass. 5% grenade energy when we're playing on a light subclass. Desperate measures. Weapon final blows grant bonus damage. Melee and grenade final blows extend it. Weapon kills grant 10% increased damage for 7 seconds. Grenade or melee kills grant 20% damage for 7 seconds. Scoring another grenade or melee kill, it'll increase this to 30%. Now, all I want you to do in this clip is just keep a look at the desperate measures on the bottom left. You can literally keep this going all of the time. And I'm not joking, all of the time, because we've got some secret little bits and bobs to show you how we can just keep flowing our abilities. The first little sort of ingredient or little tip is Gunpowder Gamble. This solar aspect is absolutely beautiful, really strong. Defeat targets with solar abilities. Solar debuffs are solar weapons to charge up an improvised solar explosive. But this actually procs Desperate Measures as well as grenades and melees. You'll see down that bottom left. The Gunpowder Gamble actually procs the Desperate Measures. See, you've also got your solar Tripmine grenade as well. So these are just two ways you can consistently keep that going all of the time. That Desperate Measures, 25% damage increase. Now into the ability spam of the build. So it increases Tripmine grenade duration and blast radius, but it also gains Tripmine energy from ability final blows. Now when you pair that with Ember of Blistering, defeating targets with solar ignitions grant grenade energy. You can literally just keep spamming your Tripmine. Just watch his return here on that bottom left. Watch it come up. Bang. Look at that. Absolutely crazy. That is the solar ability from the Tripmine grenades. This actually pairs well with Dragon's Breath as well, the Ember of Blistering. Because Dragon's Breath actually does cause ignitions, the Ember of Blistering will give you grenade energy from the ignitions kills. If you just look again on that bottom left, you'll see them little ticks all going. That paired with the exotic trait of the young Ahamkaras spine just really boosts your grenade recharge rate out. And again, you'll just see on that bottom left that Dragon's Breath ignitions, your Gunpowder Gamble ignitions, all just feeding energy to that Tripmine. So you can literally just keep spamming your Tripmines over and over again. On top of that, we've got our knives as well. I prefer to run Proximity Explosive Knife. Weighted Throwing Knife is also a good one for direct damage. We've also got Lightweight Knife as well. But all these are just a constant flow for the Desperate Measures perk. And you can literally, and I said at the beginning, keep this going all of the time. So you've got your grenade energy, you've got your melee, and also your Gunpowder Gamble. That is a constant supply of Desperate Measures, one way or another. 30%, 20% consistently up all of the time. And once you've got all of these flowing, your Ember of Blistering, everything else, your Desperate Measures proccing, your Indomitability proccing for the extra 5% grenade energy recharge, you can literally just turn yourself into a nade throwing ability spamming solo hunter. You can literally just run around a mockery in the later rounds of Legend Onslaught, or even in GMs, these tripmines do some really nice damage. And what I said at the beginning, I really like these tripmines for Legend Onslaught because they will stay there for a really long time, and you can just plant it down and forget about it, and then all of a sudden you'll just get a kill. You forgot you put your tripmine down, or your enemy's walking to there a couple of seconds later on, maybe 10 seconds later, and that will proc your desperate measures. So you can literally just keep that desperate measures up all of the time. And again, on top of that, you've got your gunpowder gamble and your knife on top of that as well, all to keep that consistent flow of desperate measures. So you're walking around with a 20-30% damage increase all of the time. So this little clip here, you're just going to stick that to the wall. I'm going to wait, and then that desperate measures is procced ×2. And then all I'm going to do is just keep getting my gunpowder gamble back with the solar ability kills. You've also got your proximity knife, which is the one I prefer. You can also lay that down as a little trap next to your tripmine or in another direction, and that usually gets a kill. So again, yeah, so it all works pretty perfectly together. You can just spam abilities left, right and centre. Now, a couple of the mods, Grenade Kickstart is a really good one to run to buff your grenade recharge rate out even more. Bomber, reduce your grenade cooldown when you use your class ability. Innovation, these are all little mods I like to use to boost my grenade recharge rate out even more. Now, this is the bit in my videos normally where I would spend a minute and a half just literally going over all of my mods and fragments bit by bit, but I think as a community we've started to build craft a little bit more, so I don't think you actually need me to spend a minute and a half going through every single mod and fragment that I run. So my friend over on Twitter, Mr. SlayerGod, made me this build card, and it's absolutely awesome. It shows you everything in there. You can screenshot that, pause it on there, and you've got everything. I will also leave a dim link in the video description. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.